Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. And I'm here to do another one of these 10 things challenges that they have going on. You know, I did the one is 10 ways I could save money. This one is 10 things I'm grateful for. There was another one that was 10 things I regret. I don't want to do that one because I always say, hey, can't live on regrets. Regrets don't do any good. So anyways, I am going to do the 10 things that I am grateful for. And if anybody would like to do this challenge, just go ahead and make a video and post it. There's been several of us that have done it. And so I'll just get started, okay? So the first thing that I am grateful for and that we should all put number one is the Lord Jesus Christ. And He is what's made everything that we have. And He is who gives us the option to choose to be good or bad. And I am grateful for our Lord Jesus Christ. And He is my number one item to be grateful for. Okay. Number two of items that I am grateful for is my family. I love my family with all my heart. And I have 4 beautiful sons. I have 7 beautiful grandchildren. I have a wonderful and very patient husband. And I say patient, he's patient with me, but sometimes he's not so patient. And I get after him for that. And he's not patient with himself, I should say that. But he's very patient with me. And he is not my boys' father. We've only been together for 10 years. And my kids are 27 and 34 and 36 and 39. And so they love him because he is a wonderful person. So I am grateful for my family, and that includes my husband, my children, my daughter-in-laws, my grandchildren, my brothers. I love my brothers with all my heart. My sister, I love my sister with all my heart. I have a very large extended family. I love all my cousins. I mean, my family is big and I love them all. And I am very grateful that I have them. And I'm grateful that I have a family that we don't fight, because I see so many families that fight all the time. And we don't fight. We don't argue. We're not greedy. We don't try to undermine one another. We want what's best for each other. So I'm very grateful to have siblings like that, because my father just passed away, and I've seen a lot of times when parents pass away, it's not pretty. And I'm grateful that my siblings and I all got along. And we were even told by the hospice that they were so impressed with us as siblings to all get along. And we all made decisions for my father together and my mother when she passed 7 years ago. But there was no fighting. To fight would be disrespectful to my parents, and my parents raised us not to be that way, so we will not act that way, and we didn't. And I'm grateful for my parents that they taught us those things, you know, and they taught us to be giving and not greedy. Mom and Dad, I love you for that. Number 3, I am very grateful for all of my friends. I have wonderful friends. I have work friends. I have friends from high school that I've been friends with forever, that we're still friends. I have friends that I have been friends with since I was born, that we were best friends from the time we were born. We were next door neighbors, and our moms used to bring us over to each other to play as little tiny infants. She knows who I am, who I'm talking about. My cousin's probably watching this. She knows who I'm talking about too. And we moved away when I was 8, and we still stayed friends. We moved about 3.5 hours away, and that friend continued to be a part of my life all the way till our 20s, and then just life happens, and we kind of moved away from each other, and we reconnected through Facebook, and I'm so glad we did. And here we are, 54.5 years later, right back where we started at when we were little, being great friends. So I'm very grateful for all my friends. And friends are a great support system when things don't go well for you. When I got a divorce, it was very traumatic to me. It was something that probably needed to be done, but it was still very hard, and with good, loyal friends and family, it got me through it much easier. So I am very grateful for my job, because I look at a lot of people that don't have jobs, or they had a job and they lost their job. And nowadays it's very hard sometimes, especially in small towns, to find a good job. And then when you're 54, almost 55, a lot of people they're not going to hire you. They want somebody younger. And so I am very grateful for my job. I always tell them I'm a lifer and that I'll be there till I retire. And if anything ever happened in the business that I worked for went under, I would be like the Titanic. I would just ride it down with him. But I hope that would never happen. But what I'm saying is that I'm very, very thankful for my job. And I like my job. I like visiting with all my customers. I like doing my job. We complain about our jobs once in a while, but that's just everyday living. Such and such got on my nerves, or such and such did this or that. But I love all my coworkers, and I love my job. Number 5 was, I guess I was kind of touching on this on number 2, but number 5 was, I am grateful for the guidance that my parents instilled in me, that my parents taught me about hard work, and they were the type that worked super hard. My father came from poverty. He came from a very poor family. Part of it was because of the time he was growing up was during the Depression, and he had it hard, and they struggled every single day just to put food on the table. And my father said that he told himself that he was never going to let his family be in that predicament, that he would work hard in order to provide for his family. And he did. He was a good provider to his family and my mother, and he taught us that if you want something, you have to work for it. And so all 4 of us siblings have good jobs. We all work hard. None of us try to take advantage of the system. There's been times when I first had my first child, I was on Medicare to help me pay for him to be born, because we were just starting out, and my husband had got a new job, and that job didn't cover my pregnancy because it was pre-existing when he started it. So we did get Medicare for that, or Medi-Cal, not Medicare. Medicare is when you're old. We did get Medi-Cal to help us. We still had a copay in the 80s of $900. That's a lot, especially in the 90s. So we still paid $900 of it, and then Medi-Cal picked up the rest. But my parents always taught us to work hard, and if you need it at that time, that's fine, but it's not a way of life, and you get off that system. You work hard, and you take care of yourself if you can. If you can't, that's one thing. And they also taught us about respect to each other, and to them, and to our elders. And like I said at the beginning, when my parents were passing, and hospice was so complimentary to us, and that comes from how we were raised. My father never once spanked me or my sister. I don't think he spanked my brothers either. Once in a while when we were like teenagers and we were a little bit mouthy, I guess is what I want to say. And I would do something that he didn't like, and I would get in trouble for it, and he would sit me down and give me this lecture. And one day I was being sassy, and I'm like, oh, can't you just be like the rest of the fathers and spank me and let me go on? And he's like, well, now that was disrespectful, and now we're going to talk about that. And so it just made the lecture longer. But he did teach us manners and respect. And so I am very grateful for my parents for that. They did play the old-fashioned roles in the 60s, Mom cooked and cleaned and had dinner on the table. Dad went and made a living and brought home the paycheck and took care of the outside of the house. And that's how things were. Why nose is itchy. That's how things were back in the 60s and the 70s, and that's how they played their life. But it did show me hard work, and respect. And I don't have one iota of a problem with kind of role plays. I mean, you know, like, I don't know. I don't mind getting my husband's plate when we're at a buffet or a banquet or something and he's visiting, and I'll go get his plate and then I'll go get my plate. So that doesn't bother me at all. But anyways, okay. On to the next thing. Number 6, I am very grateful for a reliable car because I do travel 10 miles to work and 10 miles back. If I got to go out of town to shop, that's 35 miles one way, that's 70. You really need a dependable car. I do have good Lord. I have a reliable car, and I'm grateful I do. And that's because of my hard work and taking care of things. So if I didn't have a job and I wasn't responsible, I wouldn't get a paycheck, then I wouldn't get a car. See what I'm saying? Number 7, I am very grateful for modern technology. We slam on modern technology a lot. Oh, I wish it was back how it was back in the day when we didn't have computers and this and that and this. You know what? I've got grandkids that live far away from me in Montana and Seattle, and I'm in California. And if it wasn't for modern technology, I couldn't see them on videos. I couldn't do video chats with them. And so my iPad, my iPhone, my laptop, modern technologies, whoever invented that, thank you, because it makes me feel closer to my grandchildren, and I appreciate that, and I am grateful for that. Okay, number 8, and this might seem kind of silly to some people, but I am grateful for hot water, flushable toilets, and toilet paper. And I'm going to lump that all together because you know what? I mean, it also goes with, you know, electricity and air conditioning and heating. Heck yeah, I'm very grateful for those things because I used to watch Pioneer, you know, living in even Little House on the Prairie. And that might seem fun, but that's a hard way to live. So I am very, very appreciative and grateful for modern amenities. Number 9, I am very grateful for YouTube, and that's because I have met so many wonderful people through YouTube. It's like having another family. I also learn a lot off of YouTube. If I don't know how to cook something or decorate something or whatever, I can go to YouTube and I can find it. I'm grateful for that. I am very grateful. And hey, if my channel ever grows large enough to be monetized, I will be very grateful for that as well, because I would love for that to be a part of my retirement so that I can have a little more cushion, so to speak. And the last thing on this list is I am very grateful for my home. My home is small. It is by all means not a fancy home, but it's home, and it keeps us warm and it keeps us cool. We have a roof over our heads, and I would love to have extra square footage when I have all my kids over, but you know what? They would rather come to my small house for Thanksgiving and cram 27 of us in here than they have bigger houses than me. But it's just home. It's comforting, and we just make do. We walk around like this because it's so crowded in here. But they want to come home to mom's cooking, and the grandkids. My oldest granddaughter is 14, and every time she walks in my house, I don't know what it is, she'll smell, and she'll go, it smells like Grandma's house. I don't know. I don't know what it is that she smells, but she says it smells like Grandma's house. So, all right, you guys, those are my 10 grateful items on this list. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.